Then, then one day, Mr. Rossiter asked me if I'd like to go fishing. I said, what? And I saw this big lake out there. It's like an ocean to me. You could see across it, but just barely. Star Lake, Wisconsin. Vilas County, yeah. And anyhow, we didn't have a motor on the boat. Nobody had motors then. There were a few people who had outboard motors, but they were not very good. So Mr. Rossiter hired a guide for us. And so he did. He hired a guide, and I was afraid to start fishing myself. I thought, boy, what if a big fish hits my line and probably grab the pole out of my hand and everything. He said, no, you got to try. Which I'm glad he made me do that. And so the way we trolled, no motor, the guy did all the rowing for hours and hours, you know, moving the boat. And it moved it just about fast enough for trolling for a large fish. And I don't know, I can't remember how long we were on the water, but the guide had caught a fish, and I think that Mr. Rossiter had caught a fish. And what really surprised me, I thought they would get a net out or something, you know. Instead, the guide reached under the seat of the boat, and he pulled out a rifle. It wasn't very long, .22 rifle, and it was, I suppose, maybe about that long. It was pretty small for a rifle, length of it. And when he worked with the fish long enough so he got it up near the top of the water, and then he dropped the pole and he cocked the gun. It was a .22 caliber rifle. I took aim, like that. Fish, boom. That was the net. He was, and then we pulled him up, and that was pretty good size fish. And I thought, now if I could just do that, my life would be, you know, I could die tomorrow and it'd be okay. And but we trolled, and I had the pole. Two more than one guy could troll, but I think they wanted me to catch the fish. I didn't think of that, you know. I thought they want to fish and I'm going along for the ride. No, they really wanted me to catch a fish. So we're going along there, and probably an hour and a half, nothing going on. And then pretty soon, boy, I tell you, that rod went almost flying through the air. It didn't, I held on to it. But man, the splash that came from that fish, I thought, my God, it has to be a whale, you know. And to me, it was a whale, but it really wasn't all that big. It was a pike, and northern pike are noted in Wisconsin for that. So anyway, we brought the fish home, and first thing that Mr. Rossiter did, he took it to the kitchen where they do all the cooking. They had a big kitchen, and So that's all I remember, that he brought it to the kitchen. That's all I remembered at that moment. And that night then, where all the people are dressed nice, you know, bathed and dressed nice for the supper, came in with their special clothes on and everything. And I was too. And pretty soon, we had just finished the main course, I think. No, it wasn't even a main course yet. Mr. Rossiter stood up, and I think he took a glass and knocked the spoon against it in the dining room. Sound carried pretty well. And he stood up and he said, "I want to announce to the whole group here that Buddy Sarley caught, I don't know, it's probably a 10-pound pike. That was still pretty good."
Amazing.
Yeah. Oh, pike really, nothing to hit a 30-pound pike up there in Wisconsin. Mine was about 10 pounds. I thought it was a whale. And anyway, I said, "Okay, I'll take it, you know." And what they did, they made a special plate, big platter. It was, for a 10-pound pike, you'd need a platter about that big. And lemons cut up around it, and watercress, and nice accoutrements with it. And then he said something about, Charlie said, "This was caught by Bud Sarley and entirely by Bud Sarley, and we all should be proud of him." Of course, my head got boop, 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 boop. And they really, from that point on, they really made a lot of me, you know, unjustifiably so. But that thing to see them bring this great big, it seemed like a place that big, but it wasn't that big. And then they served our table first. And then they said, "Now we're going to cut up the rest of it for anybody who wants a piece." And they did. They went around to all the tables. Some wanted it, some didn't. And I thought, my God, they're eating my fish. What a tremendous tribute to me. I don't think I knew what the word tribute meant, but it was that kind of thing, that kind of feeling I had. I was aware of, you know, so anyhow, I never got over the thrill of catching it and the thrill of sharing it with that.